First question of the day. So this is a question on log. If p square is equal to q to the power 5 is equal to r to the power 10 is equal to s to the power 9, then find the value of log pqr to the base s. So the first thing is, if we have something, let's say log x and log x to the power p, so this becomes p. So this is one rule that we'll be using about log. And the second rule about, it's not about log, it's rather about if you have x to the power a into x to the power b into x to the power c, you will have the sum of the powers because the bases are same. So we're going to use these two. So if you look at here, the base is s, so we need to put in the values each of pqr in terms of s. Okay. So from here, can we say p will be equal to s to the power 9 by 2? Similarly, can we say q is going to be s to the power 9 by 5? And similarly, can we say r is going to be s to the power 9 by 10? Right? We can leave it as such, or what we can do is we can take out, we can write them in decimal format. So the product of PQR is going to be s to the power 9 by 2 into s to the power 9 by 5 into s to the power 9 by 10, which will result in s to the power 9 by 2 plus 9 by 5 plus 9 by 10. Now, if we look at the powers, they are fractions where the denominators are 2, 5 and 10. So we'll take the LCM of 2, 5 and 10. So this changes to 10 being in the denominator throughout, and this 9, let's take out common. So we'll be having 5, and then we will be having 2, and then we'll be having 1. So this results in 8. So s to the power 9 into 8 by 10, which can be simplified as s to the power 9 into 4 whole divided by 5, which is s to the power 36 upon 5. Now, since we are dealing with log, so we can say log of s to the power 36 upon 5 to the base s. So using the log property, we can take out 36 by 5 outside, and this is what we'll be left with. So we get D as the answer. Okay. Next one. In a tournament, there are 52 junior level and 64 senior level participants. Do we have anyone answering, responding? Acha, nahi, chalo. Each pair of juniors play one match. Each pair of seniors play one match. There is no junior versus senior match. The number of girls versus girl matches in junior level is 351, while the number of boy versus boy matches in senior level is 378. The number of matches a boy plays against a girl is. So if we talk about junior level participants, we have a total of 52 participants, out of which, let's say the total number of girls is G, so the number of boys will be 52 minus G. Similarly, if we talk about senior level participants, there are 64 overall. So if the number of girls over here are, let's say, capital G, then the number of boys is going to be 64 minus capital G. Now, when we have a pair of juniors playing a match among themselves, it is denoted by, when you have pairs to be formed, it is denoted by NC2. These many matches will be played. So here, as per this GC2, the number of girl versus girl matches in junior level, this is given as 351. So NC2 is given as n into n minus 1 whole divided by 2. So using this, we can say G into G minus 1 whole divided by 2 is 351. Or G into G minus 1 results in twice of 351, which is going to be 702. So now we have to think of G as a number into the previous number, the consecutive number. The product should be 702. So we can start with, it's going to be between 20s and 30s, right? Because 20 into 20 is 400, 30 into 30 is 900. So it should be between that. So between 20s and 30s, if we take 26 into 27. So actually this is 27, G is 27. So 27 into 26 will result into, but is it 702? So this is going to be 729 minus 27, 702. This is 702. So G is 702, which means the number of girls we have is 27 here. So the remaining are boys, which are going to be 25. Now let's look at senior ones. Same logic. Capital GC2 is given as, okay, sorry. Let's take it otherwise. It says boy versus boy, no? So let's say the number of boys is B, so the number of girls will be 64 minus B. So here BC2, the matches between boy and boy is going to be, it's given as 378. So that means B into B minus 1 whole divided by 2 is 378. So this results in B into B minus 1 is equal to twice of 378, which is going to be 756. Now again, we have to take the product of two consecutive numbers as 756. It's again going to be between 20s and 30s, between 20 and 30. So at 27 into 26, we got 702. What about 28 into 27? 28 into 27 will end in 6, right? So let's check if this is equal to 756. So 729 plus 27 is 756. Perfect. So B is going to be 28. So if B turns out to be 28, so the remaining are girls, which will become 36. Right? So 36 girls are there. Now we have to calculate the number of matches a boy plays against a girl. So the number of matches that junior level boys will play against the girls will be 27 into 25, right? Which is going to be, suppose had this been 24 into 25, that would have been 600. So 27 into 25 will be 675. And senior level, it's going to be 36 into 28. So we can treat this as 36 into 30 minus 72, right? 28 ko 30 minus 2 likh liya. So 36 into 3 is 108. So 1080 minus 72. So this will result in 1008. So the total number of matches are going to be 675 plus 1008, which will result in 1683. Option A. So a little lengthy, reason being because we had to do two calculations and both were quadratic. Do not open the quadratic. Whenever you have product of two consecutive numbers, or when you are written something like B into something, B into B minus 1 plus 1 in minus 2 plus 2. So do a bit of hit and trial looking at the last digit. That will give you a very good idea. Okay. Next one. The area of a rectangle and the square of its semi-perimeter are in the ratio 6:25. The lengths of the shorter and longer sides of the rectangle are in the ratio. So if we have a rectangle with the length, let's say L and B as the breadth, so the area is given as L into B and square of its semi-perimeter. So semi-perimeter is just L plus B, right? Square of this is given as 6/25. So we can say from here that L into B divided by L plus B is going to be 6/5. So we have to think of two numbers such that their product is 6 and their sum is 5. Obviously, those two numbers are 2 and 3. So L is 3 and B is 2. This will make sense. So the lengths of the shorter and the longer side, the ratio, it is in the ratio 2:3. Straightforward. Do not cross multiply. Do not try to find out what L by B is. Figure out numerator, denominator. You will be able to relate the values along with the calculations given on the variables. Okay. Next, the smallest integer n says that this is greater than 0. So, from here, what we can do is we can take out n square common. We are left with n minus 16, and from the next one, can we take out n square common? No. So what I'm going to do is, since we have 80n, so what I will do is I will break it down 80n as 8n and then plus 72n and greater than 0. So this will become n square n minus 16 plus, if I take out at 8, I will again have n minus 16 plus 72n greater than 0. So this will become n square plus 8 into n minus 16 plus 72n is greater than 0. So kind of factorize it to a certain extent and we have something else outside. Okay. Now, what we can do next is we can use the options. Since the question is asking us the smallest integer, so let's put 7. So we will have 7 square plus 8, which is positive, 7 minus 16, which is negative, plus 72 into 7. So let's see if it is greater than 0. So 7 minus 16 is going to be minus 9, and 49 plus 8 is going to be 57. So we have 57 into minus 9 plus 72 into 7. So this will become 570 minus 57. So 513 plus 72 into 7. So 490 plus 14. 504. So this turns out to be negative. So 7 is not our answer. Let's pick up 8. So we will have 8 square plus 8, which is going to be 72. 8 into minus 16 is going to be minus 8. And then we will have 72 into 8. This is going to be 0. This is not positive. So 7 pay did not work out. 8 pay, this is exactly 0. So at 7, this is negative. At 8, it is equal to 0. So at 9, this has to be greater than 0. Right? The way it is moving, it was negative initially, then it is 0, then it has to be positive. It can't suddenly take a drop. So at 7, it did not work out. At 8, did not work out. So the answer is going to be 9. Okay, the next one. A parallelogram ABCD has area 72 square centimeter. If the length of CD is 8 and that of AD is S centimeter, then which of the following is necessarily true? So since we are talking about a parallelogram, so I will start with a rectangle. Okay, so the area is given as 72 centimeter square. And if we take this as CD, so we have got A, B, C, D, right? So it is given that if one of the lengths, which is CD, if this is 8 centimeter, so obviously BC is going to be 9 centimeter, then only we are going to have the area 72. So 9 to possible hai. Since 9 is possible, so C and A will not make sense. Now, since it is going to be a parallelogram, so it might have tilted. Sides, slant sides. Now, as per this, the area is still 72 centimeters square. This length is 8 centimeters. And the height is anyways going to be 9 centimeters. So if the height is 9, this is definitely going to be greater than 9, right? So the side S is going to be 9, or it can be more than 9. So only D makes sense. So it's not necessary that the other side has to be 9, right? Do not be worried about 8 is smaller than 9 the way the figure is drawn. It doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, next, the value of this sum 5 into 9 plus 9 into 13 and so on up to 97 into 101 is going to be what? So if you pay attention, every term, the second value is greater than the previous one by 4. right? This is consistent. So what I will do is I will add one more term. Sorry, 1 into 5. I will add one more term, that is 5 I have added, and I will subtract 5. Because it's now going to be easier to find the sum of this particular expression. 5 onwards, it would have been a little more calculative. So whatever answer we are going to get, we are going to subtract 5 from there finally. Okay. So we can generalize the term as n, right, into n plus 4. But then if I take n as 1, it becomes 1 into 5, perfect. But if I take n is equal to 2, I get 2 into 6, which doesn't exist. So we will have to improvise. If we look at the first term, this is an AP, right, where there is a jump of 4. So I can write this as 4n minus 3, so that if n is 1, I get 1. If n is 2, I'll get a 5. If n is 3, I'll get a 9. And the next term is 4 more than this, so this will result in 4n plus 1. इसमें 4 add करेंगे तो minus 3 plus 4 will give us 1. Which we open will give us 16n square minus 3 plus 1 minus 2 times 4n and then minus 3. This is the general term. Now, 2 into 4 को मैं 8n लिख लेता हूँ. Now this is the general term. So I need to take the summation of this, right? And the summation is going to be from 1 to 97 we will be getting when n is going to be 25, right? 25 into 4 is 100, 100 minus 3 is 97. So once से 25 तक का sum करना है, so we will have to take the summation of this. Now summation of n square is given as n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 whole divided by 6. Summation of n is given as n into n plus 1 whole divided by 2, and summation of 3 is 3n, and let's not forget that 5 that we are supposed to subtract. So this part is the sum of all these numbers, right? Okay. We might have to subtract. एक काम करते हैं, let's do one thing. Later on, so that we don't have to verify anything, let's change the general format. So the general format is it starts with 1 and there is a jump of 4, and the next one is 4 more than it, so 5 plus 4n. So this is going to be 4n square plus 6 into 4, 24n, and plus 5, right? Here, if I put n is equal to 0, I'll get 1 into 5. If I put n is equal to 2, I'll get 5 into 9. So n की value 0 से शुरू होगी, so that it makes things easier now. If n is going to be 0, we can go up to n is equal to 24, because 24 into 4 is 96 plus 1, 97. That's the first number you will be getting in the last term. So we are supposed to take this summation here. अब इसका लेते हैं. This is 4 times summation of n square is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 whole divided by 6. Summation of n is n into n plus 1 whole divided by 2, and summation of 5 is 5n. And let's not forget the minus 5 part. So this entire summation is over here, and that 5 has to be subtracted. So this will have, this is 3, इसको रहने देते हैं ऐसे, let's not. So this will become 4, n is 24, so this is 24 into 25 into 49 whole divided by 6, plus 24 into 24 into 25 whole divided by 2, plus 5 into 24 minus 5. Now 6 into 4 is 24, and 2 into 12 is 24. Denominators we are able to get rid of. So we will have 25 into 4 as 100, 49 into 4 which is going to be 196. So we will have 196,000. That's the first term. Okay, 19,600 plus. The next is 25 into 24, which is going to give us 600. 600 into 12 is 7,200. And then we will have 24 into 5 is 120. And then we will have a minus 5. We will do that later on. So 49 into 4, 98, 196 followed by 2 zeros. Then we will have summation of n, which is n into n plus 1 by 2, which will give us 24 into 25, which is 600. 12 into 6, 7,200, and then 120. How come the options are in 80,000s when we are not able to cross 30,000 even? Is there any calculation mistake that I am doing? N is 24. Okay. So nope. No calculation mistake whatsoever. Yeah, hi Pratham. Hi. Is there any calculation mistake? Oh, 4 into 4, 4n into 4n is 16n square. So yes, making a calculation mistake right here. Okay, so we will have 4 times of 19,196,000. So which is going to become 196 ka double, which is 392, and 392 ka double, which is 794. ठीक है. So this is going to give us 86. 720. Is it 86 720? Acha nahi, this is 784. 784, so this will become 85 720. So if we started with 0, we did not have to take this minus 5, right? So ठीक है, option A. So the mistake I was doing was 4n into 4n is 16n square. So I wrote 4n square by mistake. So it has to be 16 times. It will give us 78,400. 49 into 16 is 7840. And another 7,200 from the next term and 120 from the next one. Since we are starting with the beginning, so we don't have to worry about it. Or we can take n is equal to 1 onwards. आप ऐसे समझ लो कि मैं n is equal to 1 से शुरू कर देता हूँ. Right? So if we start with n is equal to 1, we do not have to take any minus 5. Okay, the next one. A triangle ABC has area 64 square units and its side BC of length 8 units lies on the line x is equal to 8. Then the shortest distance between A and the point 0, 0 is. So suppose this is our y-axis and this is our x-axis, and then we are given line x is equal to 8. So this line is x is equal to 8. That means it passes through 8 comma 0. This is our origin, which is 0 comma 0. Now, since the area is 64 square units and its side BC, suppose this is where BC lies. And it has a length of, let's say, 8 units. Okay. Is it necessary to have 8 units? So area is given as half into base into height, and this is given as 64. So the product of base and height is supposed to be 128. Right? So this length is given as 8. So if this is 8, the other one is going to be 16. So if the other one is going to be 16, it can lie on the other side of this, or it can lie on this side. So if it lies on this side, this is already 8, so we need another 8. So this is where it will stop. So this point is going to be minus 8 comma 0. So from the origin, it is supposed to be 8 units away. That's the shortest distance that we can have, right? Because the base is fixed, it is of length 8, the height has to be 16, where 8 takes us to origin and another 8 will take us beyond origin on the left hand side. So minimum distance will become 8 units. So it's easier not to write a general equation of area of a triangle and the line, right, and the distance from the between 2 points. Let's not use that, it will be very lengthy. So it's easier if we draw the figure and try to make it symmetrical, because symmetrical things are generally minimized, right? Okay, next one. Let fx is equal to max of this, where x is any positive real number, then the minimum possible value of fx is going to be. So first step is, obviously we are going to equate them. So this is what we will get. So we will get 3x square minus 4x minus 4 is equal to 0. So this is going to give you the value of x as 4 plus minus under root 16 plus 48 by 2 into 3. So 4ac, 12 into 4, 48. So 48 plus 16 is 64. 64 ka square root is going to be 8. So 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 by 6 is 2, and 4 minus 8 is minus 4. Minus 4 by 6 is minus 2 by 3. So these are the two values of x for which this is going to be true, right? Now we need to find the minimum possible value of fx. So x has to be any positive real number. So what it means is, if I take x is equal to 2 upon root 3, which is a positive value, so I'll get 0, right? And if I take 0, then that is going to be negative. So figure wise, what is going to happen is, if this is the x-axis and this one is the y-axis, So if we draw this particular thing, which is y is equal to 4x, so y is equal to x is going to pass through the first and the third quadrant. Y is equal to 4x is going to pass through the first and the third quadrant, but it is going to be more inclined towards the y-axis. So this is our y is equal to 4x. The next one is if we take 3x square minus 4. So x square is going to be a U-shaped graph. 3x square is going to be a little more towards the y, and minus 4 will pull that parabola closer to this, right? Now, since the question is asking us, the question is saying us max, so before they meet, and we're talking about any positive real number, so before they meet, this is what is going to happen, right? And since we are talking about a positive real number, so actually we cannot take anything to the on the negative side of x-axis, as in to the left of y-axis, it's not valid, right? Because x has to be positive real number. So this is where we can begin with. So between blue and pink line, the pink line is above, and once they meet, then the blue line is above. So this is the function that we are talking about. So the minimum possible value is going to be 0, right? That's the closest we can get to. So figure wise, it's easier. Solving wise, it will be more time consuming because we will have to take value of x starting with a little above 0 and so on and so forth. Okay. Okay. The next one, if a and b are integers such that the given quadratic is positive and the given quadratic is also positive for all real numbers x, then the largest possible value of 3a minus 5b is. Well, a given quadratic is always positive. This will only happen when discriminant is negative. Same is true for the next one. इसका भी discriminant negative होगा तभी possible है. So discriminant of the first one is going to be b square minus 4ac, and it has to be negative. So this gives us a square minus 36 going to be less than 0. This gives us a minus 36 or a plus, sorry, this gives us a plus 6 into a minus 6 less than 0, and this results in a is going to be from minus 6 to 6. Okay. Now the next one, second discriminant has to be 0, so this will give us b square minus 4ac. So this will result in b square minus 20 is going to be less than 0. So this results in b plus root 20 into b minus root 20 has to be less than 0. So this gives us b is going to be from minus root 20 to root 20. Now root 20 is 4 point something, right? So this is minus 4 point something to 4 point something. Now the question is asking us the largest possible value of this. Now 3a is going to be largest when a is the largest. So the largest a that we can take with wherein a is an integer, so the max a is going to be 5. 5 से बड़ा हम ले नहीं सकते, right? So this will result in 3 into 5. Now minus 5b, not 5b. Minus 5b is going to be largest when b is negative with the highest magnitude. So if we look at the value of b that we can take, so इधर से b की जो minimum value है that we can take is minus 4. उससे कम नहीं जा सकते. Minus 5 is not within the range. Minus 4 point something, say smaller integer is minus 4. I mean, say larger integer is minus 4. So this becomes minus 5 into minus 4. So this becomes 15 plus 20. That results in 35. So 35 is the largest possible value that we can have for this. Okay. Let's see if you guys have any doubt here. All syllabus competitive percentage is very hard going. Percentage, Pratham, are you talking about the topic percentage या percentile exam की बात कर रहे हो? If you're talking about the topic percentage, बार बार करो. Okay, go through the concepts again and again, the shortcuts, SICI, profit loss and discount, faulty weights and balances, use a lot of ratios. Okay, बहुत practice करो, because if your percentage is good ना, so all other topics will also become very easy to understand, because the main struggle is percentage. Once you get to that level of understanding of a particular topic, other topics will be like easy peasy. ठीक है? For joining, I'll see you guys again very soon with another session. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Yes, Ritesh, mock test is there. तो आप mock test आप enroll कर सकते हो. आप ऐप डाउनलोड करो, वहां पर आपको सारे प्रोडक्ट्स मिल जाएंगे. Mock tests, how many mocks are there, whether you want CAT mocks, non-CAT mocks, okay, everything is there.